Okay, good morning everyone. Happy V-Day. It's officially begun. We're going to read a couple articles about the impending you-know-what that is on its way thanks to FedEx and UPS and the United States military. But before I do that, there's a solar eclipse occurring right now. And a lot of astrologists and hermeticists and alchemists think that there's a significance to it. We're not going to go into that in this episode, but maybe I'll do an episode on that. I just want to show you though, hold on real quick. On the top left, the University of Chile Institute of Astrology or something. We're going to look at that seal in a second. And then of course on the right, we have the NASA logo. Wonderful day to film the sky. Overcast. But yeah, that eclipse is occurring right now. It's a full eclipse, I believe. So, let's look at that symbol. You can see on the right side of your screen. There's a couple familiar things. We got the sickle, right? We have the caduceus with the two snakes. Remember, that's not the rod of Asclepius. This is the staff of Hermes, or the staff of Mercury, or the staff of Thoth. All three of them are the same god. It's what Nancy Pelosi likes to wear the most these days. And then we come up here. Of course, we got a cross, but next to it, we have a cup with a snake. It's kind of interesting. The serpent and the Holy Grail. And then to the right of it, dead giveaway, we have the compass and the Masonic pillar, of course. And then below that, the open book. The open book is an important hermetic symbol used in Masonry and all sorts of different schools of thought. And then, of course, the scales of justice. Up at the top, we've got the keys, lost keys of Masonry, right? And then once again, the heart with the cross, and looks like two creatures over here. One looks like a phoenix, the other one looks like some sort of horse, and they are next to a pentagram, whatever you want to call it, star, and the Masonic red and blue duality. It's represented there as well as throughout the whole seal. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, it's V-Day, guys. Cheer up. It's a beautiful day. So yeah, last night, they rolled them out. I'm sure you all know that. They are on their way. We're just going to read. This is from WMTW 8, ABC in Maine. The Maine CDC reports 426 new cases and 2 new deaths. Look at that. Look at those glycoproteins. Look at that chimeric S protein derived from combining multiple different S proteins from previously discovered VIRUSs. We haven't looked at the patents in a while, but go back. They're always in the description of the video if you want to learn about how these red things here were invented, manufactured, engineered, created, patented. Yeah. Okay, Augusta, Maine. The Maine CDC and Prevention reported 426 new cases. The 426 cases brings the total number in Maine since the start of the pandemic to 16,349. It's the most new cases over a 24-hour period since the you-know-what began. Active cases rose to 5,500, an increase of 367 since Sunday. There were 57 new recoveries reported, bringing the total to 10,000. Then we got some data here. Some data without any source. Classic. 259 deaths. Unbelievable. Look at this graphic. Maine C19 cases. And look at that. The CDC uses the rod of caduceus. We've covered this before. The 2 snakes and the wings is the staff of Hermes, Mercury, and Thoth. Has nothing to do with medicine. In fact, let's look it up real quick. We're just going to chill, guys. We're going to go out. We're going to talk about China and Canada and this earthquake. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, so I hope you have your coffee. Okay. Rod of caduceus. Let's go to Wikipedia, shall we? Okay, the caduceus from Greek herald's wand. So right away, wand. Wand is a magical tool, right? Or staff. It is a staff carried by Hermes in Greek mythology and consequently by Hermes Trismegistus in Greco-Egyptian mythology. So that's the connection of Thoth. The same staff was also borne by heralds in general, for example by Iris, the messenger of Hera, It is a short staff entwined by two serpents, sometimes surmounted by wings. In Roman iconography, it was often depicted being carried in the left hand of Mercury, the messenger of the gods. So Mercury, Thoth, Hermes. Hermes Trismegistus. Okay, let's get to the symbolism of it, right? Maybe, let's see. I feel like I've been to a different page, so this page looks new to me. Current use. Caduceus is encoded in Unicode at code point U+2624. What? Its alchemical symbol is encoded at U+1F750. I gotta find this database they're talking about. There's a database of symbols like this? In both cases, the actual glyph displayed is font dependent. The symbol is also depicted on multiple coats of arms. So you can see all over the world. Finland, France, Russia, Poland, Sweden, Ukraine. Wow, it's literally everywhere. Belarus, Kharkiv, China. Look at China even throws it on with the lost key of Freemasonry. Australia, Canada. It is a symbol of commerce. A simplified variant of the caduceus is to be found in dictionaries indicating a commercial term, entirely in keeping with the association of Hermes with commerce. In this form, the staff is often depicted with two winglets attached to the snakes. And the snakes are emitted, I see. Why don't we... Okay, look at confusion with the rod of Asclepius. It is relatively common, especially in the United States, to find the caduceus with its two snakes and wings used as a symbol of medicine, instead of the rod of Asclepius, with only a single snake. This usage was popularized largely as a result of the adoption of the caduceus as its insignia by the U.S. Army Medical Corps in 1902. So, the rod of Asclepius is the dominant symbol for professional healthcare associations. Asclepius, one snake. One snake. I'm getting blown up on Steam, sorry guys. One snake is the medical symbol. Let's go to the page for Hermes, shall we? Maybe that's where they talk about the actual meaning of his rod. Or his wand. No, Wikipedia, I'm not going to give you money. Can you give me money, Wikipedia? Please. Hermes is an Olympian deity in ancient Greek religion and mythology. Hermes is considered the herald of the gods. He is also considered the protector of human heralds, travelers, thieves, merchants, and orators. Hermes is the god of thieves, protector of thieves and orators. What's an orator? A rhetorician, somebody who speaks publicly, right? Politicians. So Hermes is the god that protects thieves and politicians. He is able to move quickly and freely between the worlds of the mortal and the divine. So, why do all countries across the planet use his staff? Well, it's because all of them are connected, and there's this caste system where the top of the controlling class just moves freely between every nation. They don't even observe nations, right? And we see that with what's going on in Canada, right? With these supposed enemies of our country, like China, training on Canadian soil for winter survival. You know, and the U.S. participating as well in the training of UN peacekeepers, right? The UN is not our ally, China's not our ally, but when it comes to the top, when it comes to the controlling class, they move freely between different worlds, right? Aided by his winged sandals. Hermes plays the role of a psychopomp, or soul guide, a conductor of souls into the afterlife. There's only one conductor of souls into the afterlife. The only way to the Father is through the Son, Jesus Christ. So if you know how to read this stuff, right on Wikipedia, they tell you what's up. It's like, yeah, we worship different gods. And then when you look into those gods, whew. Okay, let's see where they talk about his staff. Oh wow, look at his attributes and symbols include the Herma, the rooster, the tortoise, the satchel or pouch, the talaria, and the winged helmet, as well as, check this out, the palm tree and the goat. Well, we know what the goat symbolizes, obviously. The devil, the greatest of all time, Lucifer. And the palm tree is a Masonic symbol for victory. Think of like the South Carolina flag, right? And there's places all across the world that don't have palm trees. South Carolina probably has palm trees. I can't recall. Yeah, they do. They do. But all over the world, the palm tree is used on flags. It's a symbol. Okay, here's a caduceus. However, his main symbol is the caduceus, a winged staff intertwined with two snakes, copulating in carvings of the other gods. His attributes had previously influenced the earlier Etruscan god Hermes, a name borrowed from the Greek Herma. In Roman mythology, Hermes was known as Mercury, a name derived from the Latin merx, meaning merchandise, and the origin of the words merchant and commerce. Let's see if they have a section for the staff. Look at that, as a chthonic and fertility god, as a god of boundaries. They love giving us boundaries, don't they? As a messenger god, and as a shepherd god. You know, one of the big philosophies in Masonry loves Hermes. They love this symbol. Masons wear an apron, and the apron is made of sheepskin, always, or lambskin, whatever you want to call it. And it's because they truly believe that we are sheep. They cover their genitals with a lambskin apron for that reason. And it goes all the ways back to Egypt. If you think of a sarcophagus with the arms folded, right? And the Masons call this a sign of Osiris risen, you know, paying homage to the ancient Egyptian god Osiris. On a sarcophagus with those crossed arms is usually two objects, a crook and a flail. And they represent, you know, sometimes in the West it's a staff and a rod. But the crook and the flail represent how the leaders, the pharaohs and the ruling class, Freemasons today, are literally the shepherds. They literally regard us as sheep. That's not a euphemism. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a euphemism. That's not a hyperbolic thing. They truly, truly do. And then the flail represents the power they hold above us. You know, the power they have to end our lives whenever they please, to change society, to control this reality completely. A little background for you. Let's find the staff. Can't remember what page. Okay. Another object is the caduceus, a staff with two intertwined snakes, sometimes crowned with a pair of wings and a sphere. The caduceus, historically, appeared with Hermes and is documented among the Babylonians from about 3500 BC. Wow. The religion I always talk about on this channel is often referred to as Mystery Babylon. And Mystery Babylon, just like Christianity, has tons of different denominations. Freemasonry is one, Rosicrucianism is one, the Knights Templar is one, the Order Templi Orientis is one, Satanism is one. It all has to do with Babylon. Okay, two snakes coiled around a staff was also a symbol of the god Ningish Zeta, who, like Hermes, served as a mediator between humans and the divine, specifically the goddess Ishtar, or the supreme Ningirsu. Easter has been perverted by the Masonic modern ruling class. Easter is actually kind of like how they've done it with Christmas, right? Easter is named after Ishtar, and we won't go into Ishtar, but we'll read this little thing. Inanna is an ancient Mesopotamian goddess associated with love, beauty, sex, war, justice, and political power. So Easter has two meanings, right? It has a duality to it. Easter obviously has its biblical true meaning, and then it has this Babylonian Ishtar, Inanna, secondary meaning, recognized by all the Mystery Babylon religions of today. In Greece, other gods have been depicted holding a caduceus, but it was mainly associated with Hermes. It was said to have the power to make people fall asleep or wake up, and also made peace between litigants, and is a visible sign of his authority, being used as a scepter. The caduceus is not to be confused with the rod of Asclepius, the patron of medicine and son of Apollo, which bears only one snake. Don't confuse the rods, you guys. This is the lower magic they perform against us. Right? We're going to go back to the article, don't worry. But right on this article, the CDC uses the rod of caduceus, not the rod of Asclepius. Let's see what else it says. Let me just comment on this. The Rota Caduceus was said to have the power to make people fall asleep. So when we say that the people are sheep and the people are asleep, it's literal. 100% literal. These are not expressions. This is really true. It's unbelievable. But it also has the power to make people wake up. Because, a curious mind will say, hey, there's 2 snakes on that one and 1 snake on the other. What's going on here? Maybe I should read a book. Let's go back to this article. That was a good side rabbit hole. Okay. Unbelievable. There it is. Total cases in Maine, 16,000. Recovered, 10,000. Total deaths, 257. That doesn't make sense. What about the other 5,000 recovered people? Wait, yeah, if there's only 257 deaths out of 16,000 cases and 10,000 recovered, I feel like there's some missing numbers there. Oh, Cumberland County, guys. We're not looking good. Not looking good. Lock it down. Wow, total cases by zip code. Is that Portland? Yeah, look at little Portland. South Portland, 402 cases. Oh my god, what a joke. 351 cases in the West End. Oh, look at this, you guys. I'm not even going to go into any of this. This is just ridiculous, dude. The inventor of the test. The video's going around right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. The inventor of the test. Deaths per day. Wow, look at that, guys. Everyone's just dying now. What a joke. Bunch of more lower magic. Oh, here are the symptoms. When we read the book, The Invisible Rainbow, it talks about the early days of electricity. And by the turn of the 20th century, there had been a large body of scientific and medical evidence compiled. And the author of The Invisible Rainbow shows us 2 columns using data from back in the day. And it talked about the positive benefits of electricity in the medical field and then the negative aspects of it. And when you look at the negative aspects of electrical medicine, which was a thing, a lot of different methods. When you look at the negative aspects, the negative symptoms of electric medicine, it's all of these, 100%, and more, right? And the author in the book, The Invisible Rainbow, makes the argument that this electrified world we live in is responsible for a lot of the things we are told are germs. This list does not include all possible symptoms. The CDC will continue to update it, thank goodness. Should I get tested? Where can I get a test in Maine? I've looked that up. Basically every hospital, which I live next to in Portland, and they're empty. Okay, CNN. Brace yourself, guys. C-19 VAX en route to every state, as health officials say they hope immunizations begin Monday. Today's Monday, guys. Let's listen to this real quick. This was from the other day. This guy's allegedly crying. Let me know if you think he's crying.
Just simple words there, reacting it. You're quite emotional by that.
Well, it's just, it's been such a tough year for so many people, and there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply for everyone.
Oh, and that's another thing. The first lady to get it threw up a solid diamond on her way out in the wheelchair. Blatant Masonic symbol. The second guy to get it, his name was William Shakespeare, who coined the phrase, "The world is a stage."
Everybody that, we can get on with our lives, and there's still a few months to go. I've still got this worry that we can't blow it now, Piers. We've still got to
this William Shakespeare
get the vaccine to millions of people, and so we've got to keep sticking by the rules. But it's just, there's so much work gone into this. Good. And I'm really, really, it makes me proud to be British.
Yeah, he looked like he was laughing to me. They did it on NBC last night too, but they had someone crying, like a NBC anchor was crying as the FedEx trucks were leaving the Kalamazoo VAX factory. Oh boy. Let's read from CNN. This was last night at 7:20. Thousands of vials of the long-awaited VAX are slated to arrive in all 50 states Monday, as top U.S. health officials express hope that healthcare workers can begin administering the injections immediately. Thank goodness. The news comes after the Pfizer-BioNTech C19 VAX cleared its final hurdle. Dr. Robert Redfield. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. Let's go to our numerology calculator. Pythagorean, Chaldean, numerology. See, they tell you through mass media that numerology is a joke. They want you to think all this is a joke, right? Robert, Pythagorean 33. Redfield, Chaldean 32. You got lucky on that one. Did I spell it right? Yeah, Robert's a 33. And then you have the dualism, the RR, right? The symmetry, all those sketchy little things. Okay. Director of the U.S. CDC accepted an advisory committee's recommendation Saturday that the you-know-what may be given to people 16 and older, meaning it can now be administered in the U.S. In a statement issued Sunday, Redfield announced he had accepted the recommendation from the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. The first VAXs are set to start as early as Monday. This coincides with the eclipse. These things that the ruling class uses astrology in everything they do. Everything they do. So yeah, the eclipse marks the beginning of V delivery. This is the next step in our efforts to protect Americans, reduce the impact of you-know-what, and help restore some normalcy to our lives and our country, he said. Look at this, guys. What a joke. I mean, this is wonderful. I'm so glad to see this, finally. Good. Let's get back to normal. Unbelievable. It says, boxes containing Pfizer-BioNTech C19 you-know-what are prepared for shipping at the Pfizer Global Supply, Kalamazoo. Chaldean 33. Unbelievable. Kalamazoo, Chaldean 33. And a Pythagorean 32. Unbelievable, dude. People are so dumb. Dr. Stephen Hahn. Guys, Stephen with a PH. Pythagorean 33. It's not easy to... You don't just take any random text and try to come up with Pythagorean and Chaldean 33s based on names in the text. It's not random. What do we have? Robert, Stephen, Kalamazoo. How many more we got? Okay. Dr. Stephen Hahn, Commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, too, said his greatest hope and desire is that the you-know-what begin Monday. My hope again is that this happens very expeditiously, hopefully tomorrow, Hahn told CNN on Sunday. We've seen the you-know-whats go out. We've seen the press reports in hospitals waiting to VAX healthcare workers and those most vulnerable. The decision comes the same day that the first batch of you-know-whats was loaded onto trucks at the Pfizer plant in Portage, Michigan, and shipped out across the country. Portage. Let's try that. Weird name. Chaldean 30. That one checks out. Freight trucks carrying about 184,275 vials departed the plant, and the combined 189 boxes of VAX are expected to arrive in all 50 states Monday. Yes! Another 3,900 vials are expected to ship later Sunday to U.S. territories. Thank goodness. Took you long enough. The excitement surrounding the shipment even brought out small groups of cheering spectators at the Gerald R. Ford International Airport. Okay, he checks out. Gerald R. Ford Airport in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where the VAX was loaded onto a FedEx cargo plane. Vicki Royce and her husband gathered outside the facility. Chaldean 31, questionable. This is so exciting. This is history, Roy said. The first you-know-whats are going out. I'm like crying here. Unbelievable. From its origin in Michigan, the Pfizer-BioNTech VAX will arrive to about 600 sites across the U.S. It's a very good day for America and for the world. Monsef Slaoui, head of U.S. you-know-what efforts, told Fox News Sunday. Wow. CNN just taking stuff from Fox News. They're all on the same team. Unbelievable. Monsef, Chaldean 32. Slaoui. Nothing. The FDA granted emergency use authorization to the you-know-what Friday, and the CDC's ACIP voted Saturday to recommend it for people aged 16 and older. The U.S. plans to distribute 40 million doses by year's end. Ugh. All in all, we hope to have immunized 100 million people by the end of the first quarter 2021. Ugh. I do believe that the process that we have used here in the ACIP to reach this decision is transparent, is science-based, keeps equity in mind, and is, for this moment, the absolute best that we can do. Wow. I'm not even going to say anything except equity. Dr. Beth Bell. So we got a BB, right? Beth Bell. Let's put her name into the calculator. Pythagorean 30. American Medical Association President Dr. Susan Bailey. Let's try her. I think I spelled that right. Chaldean 31. Said in a statement Saturday that the biggest obstacle to the VAX is people's willingness to be VAX'd. To be clear, these VAXs will reduce death and severe illness. They have been rigorously evaluated, and if enough of us roll up our sleeves and get the VAX, we can eventually reclaim normalcy. Wow. Wow. They're not giving us an option, guys. There is no normalcy. Surge on top of surge. Oh my goodness. Most Americans will have to wait months before they can get the you-know-what, and until then, many states are expected to continue experiencing unprecedented numbers of new infections. For the 12th consecutive day, there were more than 100,000 patients in U.S. hospitals, according to the You-Know-What Tracking Project, with a record 109,000 patients on Sunday. Arizona reported its second highest numbers of new cases Saturday, with 8,000, and reached a new record positivity rate at 25%, indicating that the viral transmission is increasing faster than the case counts indicate, according to an ongoing study at the University of Arizona's Zuckerman College of Public Health. Oh boy. Oh boy, guys. Overburdened hospitals. Look at, finally, new clear, comfy, sociable mask. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Gosh, it's so bad. Let's switch topics. What's up with this earthquake? Did you guys hear about this? A 3.0 magnitude earthquake right on the Canadian border. A Canadian college student reached out to me this morning through email. We're going to try to work something out. I want to find out what they're being taught. Maybe we can get some intel on this situation here. So, I'm going to go to Google Earth. They're saying a 3.0 earthquake hit right here in Maine. Check this out. It's right across from St. Stephen, Canada. 33 Stephen with a PH. And yeah. So according to a news report I watched, they said it was within 3 miles of Robbinston. That's the most details they gave us. And Robbinston is right next to Calais. Interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Canadian border. I mean, I'm sure you all watched the episode we just did where we covered the Canadian, not only Canadian, but the American, Australian, UK, New Zealand, and UN peacekeepers all train with one another in Canada, including the Chinese Liberation Army. They're all on the same team. Now, it's interesting. We're going to talk about what military is located in Calais, because there is some. Calais, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Calais. But I want to show you Loring Air Force Base, which is a massive, massive Cold War airfield. And it's still used today, despite what they want you to think. Actually, Boeing does testing there. Okay, it should bring us right there. There it is. Okay. Check this out. My brother knows a lot more about this than I do, but during the Cold War, they would, at all times, for decades, they could scramble nuclear bombers from right here. They could scramble nuclear bombers within 4 minutes and have them up in the air. And the reason it was located here is because the government knows that we live on a flat plane, so when it comes to military, they're willing to fly north to south. But when it comes to commercial flights, only east and west. So yeah, this was the shortest route to deliver a nuclear payload to Russia. Won't go into the Cold War, but this is a massive, massive complex. And the photos they provide are from 1996. And if we zoom in here, you can see that in 1996, these are all, I believe, mobile howitzers. I don't think they're tanks. I think these are large caliber cannon on wheels. Pretty badass. A lot of them. Look at all of these, you guys. There's more. Hold on. Military vehicles everywhere. This is a massive, massive military motor pool. And I imagine this is all still there today. We'll look up what's going on there today. We have a college. Loring Job Corps Center. Okay. So yeah, now it's called the Loring Commerce Center, but there are still aeronautics and military stuff going on there. We'll take a look. But first we'll talk about Calais, because we do have a National Guard that is stationed there. There's probably a badass Masonic cemetery at this airport though. Okay, let's go back to the interwebs. So right on Google says magnitude 3.0 earthquake affecting the US and Canada. And basically, you can't trust anything anymore, but Hal Turner at Dark Outpost is saying 50,000 Chinese soldiers were bombed and killed in Maine, which was listed as an earthquake. And honestly, truth is stranger than fiction, so who knows? But okay, if you go over to Wikipedia, category military installations in Maine, let's see here. Navy, Coast Guard, National Guard, Army National Guard Armory. There's one in Calais. And I have some additional information on that. I did email them, their station. I didn't get a response. Maybe I will today. But we come over here to the Maine National Guard.military, the official site. And yeah, Calais is home to Detachment 2 of the 1136 Transportation Company. I almost joined the National Guard over the summer when I was like super patriotic Trump guy. Yeah. And they were desperate. They wanted me to go get all of my under 18 court papers from when I was a kid, and I was like, I'm not gonna go do that. But I told them I would. But they were desperate. They were calling me all the time, and they were bulking up for something. What else do I have on these? OurMilitary.com. Yep, Maine National Guard. There it is, Detachment 2. Maine Army National Guard. They spelled Maine wrong. But their phone number is listed as 1-207-430-5439. Here's our fake news. Actually, I think this is the video. Let's...
Fear of small earthquakes surprised residents near the border of Maine and Canada this morning.
The earthquakes reached a magnitude of 2.4 and 3.0, and both happened before 8 a.m.
Obviously, all CNI symbol, but she's wearing the leopard print, which is what the priest of Egypt would wear. The Sem priest, they were called.
The U.S. Geological Survey says the epicenter of the quakes was about 3 miles from Robbinston.
The Boston Globe reports the University of Maine at Machias produced seismic data that showed it's possible there were 2 earthquakes.
So their seismological evidence is coming from the University of Maine. I mean, I just made an episode about how University of Maine is a racist college, and it's a joke. So why should we trust seismological data from the University of Maine? I don't. I literally believe this is probably more likely at this point. And I'm not just saying that. There's evidence. I mean, we just did these episodes about China. We've been looking at China the whole time we've had this channel, and we have all of our carriers, not all of them, but currently the majority of our carrier groups are located off our coast, and this is from December 8th. This hasn't been done before. That's what everyone's saying. So you can see right here. Maybe I can click on this. What's going to happen? I don't know. But all of our aircraft carriers are stationed off our east and west coast. Okay, I guess we can do it this way. Yeah. CVN 70, 71, 72, 74, 69, 77, 73. A lot of them. Aircraft carriers. The Nimitz, the George Washington, the Carl Vinson, the Dwight Eisenhower, the Roosevelt, the Reagan, the Truman, the Lincoln, the Stennis, the Bush. Yeah. So normally, all of these aircraft groups are stationed all across the planet, and they ensure, safe commerce and safe travel. If they weren't all over the planet, piracy would be crazy, right? So we put pressure on all of the world's oceans at all times. We're superpower. It's what we do. The biggest empire on Earth. But they're all at home. Look at how many are on the East Coast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's wild. That's wild. Something's going on. Very interesting. We're not going to read Hal Turner's report because you get the gist of it. But check this one out too. December 11th. Missing pilot of Madison-based F-16 jet found dead after a crash in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Another military event on the border with Canada. This is very odd. Very, very odd. It looks like the article is broken. Do I have to take this survey? Ugh, that's ridiculous. Let me just do like a Google search for some fake news on it. F-16 crash, Michigan. So, officials find pilot's body after an F-16 military plane crashed in Michigan. Captain Durwood Hawk Jones. Oh boy. Interesting. Okay. Let me try Derwin. What a weird name. Derwin Jones? Is that what it was? Durwood Jones. Durwood. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. He is from Albuquerque, New Mexico, pictured here with his child. Lost his life during an F-16 crash in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, December 8th. Same day, the carriers were in position on our coast. The aircraft, an F-16 Fighting Falcon, crashed around 8 p.m. Tuesday. It was on a routine training mission with just a pilot on board, said the 115th Fighter Wing, a unit of the Wisconsin Air National Guard. It was assigned to the Truax Field Air National Guard base in Madison, Wisconsin. The cause of the crash is still unknown and is under investigation. The 115th Fighter Wing had been conducting training flights throughout the week, which were not set to run until 10 p.m. nightly. Captain Jones, 32, of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hold on. 31, okay. Joined the Air National Guard in 2011. He received 2 air medals with Combat C devices. 2 C's. C, alphanumerically, is 3. 2 3s, 33. Awards given to individuals who have been exposed to hostile action. Yeah, not much on it. Sounds like a cover-up to me. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on the border of Canada. And it's super interesting because we just had this declassified information about the itinerary between all these Five Eyes countries, UN and China. And they've all been training up there. So it seems like something might be going on. I'm not too sure, though. We'll keep our eyes on it. I think that's all I got for you guys, but I will definitely be back later. Hope you all have a great V-Day. Don't forget, today's V-Day. Big deal. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.